What is going on, you guys? It's Extreme here, and yes, I am back once again, as I am every single day. Well, maybe not every single day, with another episode of my Road to Max Prestige. And for those of you that don't know, the 21st of July of this year, I'm going to be taking a black day. And what I mean by a black day is, well, I'll explain more as we get closer to that, but let's just say it basically is a nice way of saying, well, not really a nice way. It's not derogatory, it's just I'm going to be, it's a blackout day is the best way to put it. I'm not going to be putting any videos up on my channel that day, and I just wanted to kind of remind you guys of that because on the 20th, I'm going to be doing a video kind of sharing an experience that, yeah, I don't wish upon even my worst enemies. Yeah, let's put it that way. Anyways, what I want to talk to you guys about today has nothing to do with what I just mentioned. In fact, I want to talk about free-to-play games and whether or not they're good or bad. And the reason I want to talk about this is because, as you guys know, I play Warframe, but I do play other free-to-play games such as, well, I play a game on my phone called Transformers Legends, and I also play Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam over on Facebook. Yes, I actually play these games, and I enjoy them, but there comes a point where the free-to-play model really just becomes a real piece of bullshit. And a lot of these free-to-play games are really not what they should be. Now, compared to Warframe, Transformers and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are the epitome of what I think most free-to-play games are when you say the phrase free-to-play, because it's really not free. You can't do shit in that game, period. I mean, Transformers you kind of can, but not really. There's a point where the main concept of free-to-play is if you want to get better shit, you gotta buy it. You can try winning some of it, but it's not gonna happen. Or try finding it or whatever. And that's how Warframe is. Warframe is, you pretty much can get everything in the game without paying a dime. Literally. You can play Warframe, start to finish, without ever having to spend a dime. That's if you want to take your sweet ass time about doing stuff. It's a fun environment, and I like some free-to-play games. Warframe is definitely on my list, and I have been playing a lot recently with my brother. And the thing is, the more I started sitting thinking about it, the more I realized, free-to-play games some are really good and some are really fun, but ultimately, the ones that I play, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Transformers, they're pretty much just, well, they're cash goblins, is what I like to call them, because they will literally take every ounce of money you are willing or stupid enough to spend. I say it like that because that's exactly how it is. I hate those kind of games where there is absolutely no way on God's green earth you are ever gonna be able to accumulate anything more than what you have. You'll never have a better experience, and it is what it is, and that's kind of boring. That gets tedious, that gets just whatever, and I'm not cool with those kind of games. But at the same time, we have a perfect example. Call of Duty has been doing these microtransactions where you can buy new camos and reticles. Well, just the design of the reticle. It's not a new optic in any way, shape, or form. It's just the reticle itself. But, I mean, it's kind of annoying in a way, because don't get me wrong, the free-to-play model, if it ever did become a bigger part of Call of Duty, we would be boned. But you also have to remember that Call of Duty has a free-to-play model in China. Well, sort of. They're developing it. And I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about. Like, what if our favorite games went to the free-to-play model? What if Call of Duty? What if Halo? What if... By the way, I have no idea why I couldn't knife that fucker. But what if these games, went from being a standard video game with a full experience to, well, You can play up to here, but then you got to pay this much if you want to continue playing. Or, oh, you want multiplayer? Oh, okay, cool. We're going to give you the bullshittiest weapons possible. And then, if you want better, well, you're going to have to pay out your ass for it because that's just how we want to roll. I think gaming as a whole would shut down. I think the gaming industry as a whole would shut down. And it would become, you know, shit is the best way to put it. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I hope most video game companies don't go the route of the free-to-play model. I don't mind microtransactions like with Call of Duty, but at the same time, if they're able to put in skins and camos, you know, I hate to admit this, but I wouldn't mind it if they put in new guns or new gear, you know, like new equipment. Like, oh, you want this new equipment? Hey, for $2, you can get it. And it'll be yours, and it's exclusive to this particular DLC. Is that fair? Well, not really. But let's be honest. Who gives a fuck anymore? I mean, everyone's looking for the cheapest tactics, the easiest way to win games and get kills and so on and so forth, at least when it comes to Call of Duty. But at the end of the day, the value of the dollar is so bad that it kind of would help, at least the economy of this country. So, I don't know. It's something that I've thought about for a while. And the free-to-play model ultimately sucks. It really does. There's nothing fun about having to pay out of your asshole for the simple idea of, well, with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Transformers, you're paying for a digital card. A card you will never physically hold in your hand. The same could be said, of course, for Call of Duty. You buy these DLCs, they're not physical. They're not on the disc. You download it, and that's it. End of discussion. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, is that what the world is coming to with video games? Is it always going to be digital content? I don't like that. I kind of miss the days where when you bought a special edition, and this goes back to when I purchased Black Ops 2. When I purchased Black Ops 2, I got a nice little case and then a whole shitload of digital content, none of which actually made it worthwhile. And with the exception, of course, had you bought maybe, you know, the Legendary Edition, you got a little, what is it, a little quad rotor, which is kind of cool. And of course, last year you got the little camera thing, whatever the fuck that was. But I don't know, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. And I know this is supposed to be about free to play, but I'm trying to come back to what it ultimately is about. It's about money. And if the gaming industry is going in this direction as a whole, becoming more about how can we get the most money for the smallest amount of effort or the smallest amount of content, well, it's just going to piss me off. And I think I would stop playing video games at that point if it really did go to that point. But where I'm going with this and getting back to the point about money and how free-to-play sucks as a whole, when I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Transformers, I am not even bullshitting you guys. As you guys know, earlier this year, well, about a month or two ago, I received an inheritance from my aunt. The amount I've never spoken about, and I never will. But I will tell you this much. I dropped, about $200 on free-to-play games. That's not an exaggeration. I actually spent $200 on free-to-play games. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did it. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, man, that $200 I could have spent on, you know, maybe getting, I could have got an Xbox One. Well, maybe not. But, I mean, that's $200, it's gone. And when these games stop being played, the content's gone too. It's not like Call of Duty, where at least with DLC, when you download the DLC, you can still play it. Right? Well, with free-to-play games, when they shut down the servers, that's it, game over. The content's gone. And you wasted your money. And they're now richer because of it. That's what really pisses me off about free-to-play, is that they're all based on servers. So, I don't know. The concept of free-to-play is something that I enjoy. I enjoy the games I'm playing. I still will play Transformers. I still will play Yu-Gi-Oh! And of course, I'm still going to play Warframe. But at some point, you got to get to a point where you say, you know what, I'm not going to spend any more money on these games no matter what. I kind of hit that point recently, and it's not because, you know, I'm even more broke now than I was before. It's mostly because I just kind of am tired of wasting money on something that only gives me moments of joy. Call of Duty, I'll enjoy it for over a year. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Transformers, it's got moments. Warframe, I'm still out on the fence on, and I'll kind of talk about that some more tomorrow when I address the PlayStation 4 and my experiences with it so far. But ultimately, I don't know, it was something I was thinking about, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. And if you guys share my thoughts about free-to-play, or hell, if you even play these games, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you've never tried them before, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM and Transformers are available on Android and ISO, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is only on Facebook, by the way. And anyone can get that. It's a free, it literally is, just go in, type in Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can play. It doesn't play like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll tell you that much. But it was something to play, and I was bored, and, you know. And you can accomplish a lot of stuff in-game for free. You can get free credits to buy stuff, but it takes so goddamn long that you're going to be doing it for a while. So keep that in mind. But with Transformers, there is no way to get free credits unless you download constant apps, and you can do that over Android. So if you guys are interested in checking those out, you can. And of course, if you have a PlayStation 4 or PC, you can play Warframe on one of those platforms. And I recommend it out of the three. I recommend Warframe because it just has, honestly, you're going to get way more value than you think. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you did enjoy this episode. I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Until next time, adios. I go on Netflix looking for one movie, and I find 4 different versions of it, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's kind of pathetic. By the way, when I saw that fucker, I honestly can say I about shit my pants, especially how fast that fucker moved. Jeez. Just being honest. But it's really something that bothers me, and I don't know what it is. I guess maybe it's the fact that I, in and of myself, am a very creative person. And to see a lack of creativity in the world today, it's kind of heartbreaking, man. I remember when people would have great ideas, and now, not so much. It's kind of like, what happened? What happened to the world? What happened to